Bence netleri bitiriyorlarmış. Neden böyle ters köşe oluyoruz demiş. Ne ki bu?
Didn't you?
Not necessarily. Sometimes you give your phone to people and they...
Bu nedir? Johnny Depp'i terleten kısa mesaj soruları. Hadi bakalım. Şimdi bu ne? Şimdi bu, hadi bak. Şimdi bu ne?
Thank you. Can you pull up exhibit 1817, please? This is a picture that you were shown this morning, Mr. Depp.
Yes, sir.
And you kind of made some illustrations on the picture and gave your account of what you see here. Mr. Depp, you testified previously that the vodka bottle that you allege cut off your finger was a handle of vodka, correct?
Yes.
You've already testified
the
to that,
second
correct?
bottle, there was a handle on that bottle,
Right.
yes.
This bottle, whatever it is, to the extent it's glass at all, that's in the corner of this room, that's not a handle of vodka.
Objection calls for speculation.
I think you'll find that I said 2 bottles.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, what you testified to this morning, Mr. Depp, was that the bottle in the corner was the handle, and there is no other bottle in the picture, is there?
No, that's not what I testified. I testified that... May I touch the screen?
Yes.
This is glass. This is glass.
Yep. And that's not a handle. Neither of those are handles of vodka.
It's that big. It's broken. The handles up the top on those vodka bottles, sir.
Yeah.
I mean...
And none, if you combine all that glass on the floor, that doesn't make up the amount of glass in a handle of vodka, does it?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'm not a, you know...
When there's objection, hold on. I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
There is no picture of a handle of vodka broken on that floor, is there, Mr. Depp?
No, I don't see it. I see glass under this chair here.
Okay. Well, you testified this morning that you did see it, so it's good to get that clarification. Let's move
No, I
on.
didn't say I saw a handle.
You also testified this morning that yeah, and I want to get this. I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. You testified earlier this morning that there was no phone in the bar area downstairs. Is that what you testified to?
Bir dakika.
I don't recall.
Amber nasıl sırıtıyor, nasıl
Call a phone in the bar area.
Okay.
I don't recall. I don't recall a Bakelite phone in the bar area where I.
Okay. Let's pull up Michelle, please. The UK day 3, page 421. Mr. Depp, we've done this drill before. This is your testimony from the UK, correct?
Can I please have...
It's this. We don't have copies for everyone. It's on the screen.
Your
right
Honor,
there.
may I please... I would like to have what he's the testimony of the
Here,
witness.
you can have my copy.
Thank you.
Siz niye bazen bu kadar
Mr. Depp,
rahatsız
you remember
edici
giving
oluyor?
testimony in the UK trial for several days, correct?
Okay, so yeah, okay here.
Yep.
So I do remember a telephone in the bar area, and this
Yeah, well,
telephone you picked up was made of Bakelite.
This is my turn to do this, Mr. Depp.
I'm sorry.
On page 421, line 19, you were asked a question, and this telephone that you picked up was made of, I'm sorry, I'm going to go up on the line 15. Question, at one stage when you were in the kitchen screaming at Miss Heard, you picked up a wall-mounted telephone. Do you remember a telephone in the kitchen? Answer, no ma'am, I remember a telephone in the bar area. Question, and this telephone that you picked up was made of Bakelite. Do you know what I mean by that? A retro telephone, wall-mounted but retro. Answer, it was a wall-mounted telephone, but it was not Bakelite. It was a modern phone. It was plastic. Question, a phone that was a wall-mounted phone that was picked up, can you scroll down, please?
Buradan nereye varacağız?
Question, a phone that was a wall-mounted phone that was picked up by you, held in your right hand, and you were repeatedly smashing it against the wall in your right hand. Answer, that is possible. But I do not, if that is the case, I do not believe I spent very much time on the phone. I remember ripping the phone off the wall. That was your testimony, correct?
It seems it would be yes.
Thank you.
Demir yerinden mi söktün?
Answer my question. Thank you. Mr. Depp, you've claimed before you've said, if I'm angry and I've got to lash out or hit somebody, I'm going to do it. And I don't care what the repercussions are. Anger doesn't pay rent. It's gotta go. It's gotta be evicted. You've said that before, haven't you?
Have you a quote from me somewhere saying that?
It's my question to you. You've said that before, haven't you? Well, actually, let's refresh your
Tam
recollection.
nereden söyledi işte onu bir
Can
gösterin
you
de
pull
emin
up
olalım biz de.
Right.
the Ghost in the Machine article, please?
Possibly about paparazzis.
Paparazzi de mi dövmesen acaba?
Mr. Depp, you
Paparazzi
see the picture of
dövmesek
you
mi? Ya gerçi
on the lower left.
şimdi Amerika'daki paparazzilerden biraz bahsetmek gerekirse çok lanet bir güruh ha. İngiltere'dekiler falan da öyle bu arada. Hatta size şöyle söyleyeyim, İngiltere'dekiler aslında şu anda Lady Diana hayatta olabilirdi. Ama paparazziler önce fotoğrafını çekmek istediler. Bir yerlere haber vermek yerine. Yani işin boyutunu anlatabildim mi? Hatta şöyle, Lady Diana gene hayatta olabilirdi. Eğer ki paparazziler Doriel Fayette'le beraber fotoğrafını çekmek için onları kovalamasaydı. Ya da bütün bir gün boyunca orada beklemeselerdi. Ha, ama bu tabii ki de magazin olarak da söyleniyor. Tabii ki de bambaşka bir şey de var ki ben diğerinden daha da çok şüpheleniyorum hatta. Ama onu tabii ki de söylemek suç. O yüzden söyleyemiyorum. Ama en azından anlatan sebebiyle olan bir şeyden bahsediyorum. Mesela kadın kendi normal hayatını da yaşayamıyormuş. Yani çocuklarıyla beraber mesela kayağa gidiyor. Ve çocuklarının çekilmesini istemiyor. Her ne kadar okey İngiltere'nin ilerideki veliahtı da olsa bu çocuklar. Diyor ki buraya çocuklarımla beraber gezmeye geldim. Lütfen diyor hani onların rahatsız olmasını istemiyorum. Onlarla beraber burada tatil yapıyorum. Lütfen gizli gizli bizi çekmeyin diyor. Britney Spears'a yapılanlar. Ya sadece Britney Spears'a değil yani. Pek çok Amy Winehouse'a yapılanlar. Böyle dibine girip orada böyle ve o kadar laubali, o kadar terbiyesiz bir dil kullanıyorlar ki oradaki magazinciler. Böyle rahatsız oluyorsun hatta biraz. Ha ama tabii ki de yani dövelim mi? Dövmeyelim hocam yine de. Haddini bildirelim kesinlikle.
Usually shirtless and wearing a crown, I believe. You see the long paragraph above that starts with "in the Mark Hotel."
Yes,
You see
yes,
that?
yes.
At the bottom of that, does this refresh your recollection that you said?
Allah aşkına ya bu davayı baştan sona kadar çevirecek bir mükemmel insan yok mu ya? Yok mu? Patreon hesabından falan linki paylaşsın. Gidelim parasını ödeyelim, izleyelim ya.
I have a lot of love inside me and
Baştan
a lot
sona
of
ama.
anger inside me as well. If I love somebody, then I'm gonna love them. If I'm angry and I've got to lash out or hit somebody, I'm going to do it, and I don't care what the repercussions are. Anger doesn't pay rent. It's gotta go. It's gotta be evicted. Did I read that right?
You did read that right, yes.
Thank you. You can take that down, Michelle, please. Now, Mr. Depp, you've also claimed that you've said before that if you want to be with a woman sexually, that she is rightfully yours, haven't you?
Could you repeat that?
And you've also said that with
Could you
respect-
repeat that, please?
Yeah, that if you want to be with a woman sexually, that she is rightfully yours.
That's ludicrous.
You've also said that with respect to women that you want to be with, you've remarked, I need, I want, I take, haven't you?
Equally as ludicrous, no.
Can you pull up DX883, please?
Görebilir miyiz biz de lütfen 880 please?
You can pull it what you like. I've never said those words. There's not enough hubris in me to say anything like that.
883?
883, Your Honor.
It's not, is it
It
evident?
is not admitted yet.
Okay, 883.
Kanıt kabul edilmemiş. Dur bakalım. Nerede o? Görebilir miyim? Görebilir miyim?
Mr. Depp, these are text messages from you to Stephen Deuters on February 20.
Nerede göreceğim ya ben bunu? Kanıt nerede şu an? "883 please." Bu kısa mesajları biliyoruz.
22nd, 2017, correct?
Galiba bu o değil mi? Bu bildiğimiz mi?
This looks nothing like me. You might have mistaken.
Mr. Depp, we can show the full unredacted. You've looked at a number of text messages in this case, and the words him as the identifier, that's you, correct? In every text message we've seen in this case.
Yeah, sure. It still doesn't mean it hasn't been screwed with. That's not any.
Oynamak o kadar kolay ki bu arada mesajlarla. O kadar kolay ki. Yani mesajla oynamak bir bebek oyuncağı, öyle söyleyeyim.
Anything that I've ever said or
Mesaj
written.
oynamak çok
You want
kolay
to see
bir
the
oyun ama
whole
bunun
thing
kanıtlanmış
unredacted?
kanıt
We can
olması
look at that
lazım.
too.
No, because you could have typed it up last night. No.
Yeah. I can assure you I didn't type it up last night, Mr. Depp. Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 883.
All right, any objection?
Objection on relevance grounds, Your Honor.
All right, Marilyn, do you want to approach for a moment? Let's take a look.
Kanıtı görebilir miyim? Kanıtı çok merak ettim. Bir şey görmüyorum. Objection! Hearsay! Yakalanırsınız işte. Ya. Ben yakalarım işte. Emre'nin yanındakiler annesi ve babası. Ah ya. Kameralar kapalı değil ama gülmesin.
All right, 883 in evidence as redacted.
Thank you. Mr. Depp, you're aware that these are text messages. You can see the bottom right where it says Depp and then it has a number, 8129. Those are produced by you in this litigation. You understand that, right?
I understand that, sir.
Okay. All right, Michelle, could you please, let's take a look at the
Bu
top text
mesajlar
first.
mı ya?
Mr. Depp, on February 22nd, 2017, you texted Mr. Deuters, right, exactly, Molly's pussy is rightfully mine. Should I not just bust in and remove its hinges tonight? Did I read that right?
You read it right.
And the one beneath that, you say, I want to change her understanding of what it is like to be thrashed about like a pleading mackerel. And then in all caps, you write, I need, I want, I take. Is that right?
You read it right. But I did not write that. Perhaps someone else.
You wrote
had
every
my
other
phone.
text that you produced that came from you in this litigation, didn't you?
Not necessarily. Sometimes you give your phone to people and they
Now,
text
when you
from
got
it.
off that plane
Excuse me?
from Boston,
I'm sorry?
when you got off the plane from Boston, you knew Miss Heard was angry with you, didn't you?
Yani telefonla kanıt sunmak. Ya şu konuda dediğim gibi bir tık sıkıntı. Çünkü telefon üzerinden mesela benim telefonumu Batuhan almaz. Ama isterse şifresini biliyor. Alır. Birine mesaj atar. Biriyle tüm gün konuşur. Ardından siler. Başka şey yazar ve benim ruhum bile duymaz. Ses olsa çok iyi kanıt. Sesli kayıt, videolu kayıt çok iyi. Ama telefon çok oynanabilir bir şey ya. Aslında bir şifre koymak ve kimseye vermemek lazım ama benim Arkadaşlarım bile bilir benim telefon şifremi. Herkes bilir yani, öyle söyleyeyim size. Benim telefon şifremi. Yıllardır. Çünkü yıllardır hiç değiştirmem. Hiç değiştirmem. Ya dediğim gibi yani hani alıp mesaj atmış olabilir, bir şey yapmış olabilir. Yani olabilir. Ben sadece mevzuyu söylüyorum. Burada işte Johnny Depp haklı, işte şöyle böyle demiyorum. Sadece telefon üzerinden sunulan bir kanıta çok da güven sunamadığımı, yani çok da güvenmediğimi söylüyorum. Ben şahsım adına güvenmiyorum. Çünkü benim mesela çok yakınımda olan bir insanın başına geldi aynısı. Aynısı geldi başına. Ee, Telefonu üzerinden onun hiç yazmadığı şeyler yazıldı. Üzerine bir şeyler atıldı. Oluyor yani böyle şeyler. Ama üniversitedeyken ilk sene bir yurtta kalırken yaşandı bu hatta.
It was pretty much a given.
Objection calls for speculation.
And you understood her to be angry, right?
She was always angry, yes.
And you asked Mr. Deuters, same person, you can take this down, Michelle, please, thank you. Same person that you texted in that last exhibit, you asked Mr. Deuters to communicate with her on your behalf, correct?
I don't know what you're talking about. You'll have to explain.
You asked Mr. Deuters to communicate with Miss Heard by text to speak to her about the incident, correct?
About what incident?
To speak to her about the plane flight,
The plane?
the Boston plane.
The Boston plane. So you're saying that I influenced Mr. Deuters. I told him that he had to write this, and I told him that he had to write that. Is that what you're saying?
No. It wasn't uncommon for Mr. Deuters to to communicate with Miss Heard on your behalf, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Mesela Kayı çok yakışıklı da
He
başına
was your
gelmiş.
personal assistant. Mr. Deuters was your personal assistant, correct?
I had two personal assistants at the time.
He was one of them, right?
Yeah, Mr. Deuters was one of them, yes, sir.
Right, and it wasn't uncommon for you to ask Mr. Deuters to communicate with Miss Heard on your behalf, correct?
It wasn't uncommon for any of them to communicate with Miss Heard on my behalf if I were on set or unavailable or any of that.
Or if Miss Heard and you had a fight, you would sometimes have them communicate with Miss Heard on your behalf, correct?
I think my crew caught on very quickly that
Just a yes or no,
would
Mr.
be
Depp.
necessary for them to.
No, just a yes or no. It was not uncommon after
Objection,
you and Miss
Your
Heard
Honor.
had
I'd ask that he be allowed to finish his answer.
yes or no question, Your Honor.
All right. Go ahead and ask your question again.
Thank you, Your Honor. It wasn't uncommon for you to have one of your personal assistants communicate with Miss Heard after you and her had a fight.
I disagree because you're insinuating that I had them do it, and you don't know that.
After the Boston
Laminatla
plane
ben
flight,
yazmadım
you had Mr.
diyor.
Deuters communicate with Miss Heard, correct?
When I'm asked what to do, I said placate or just placate.
Yani inatla diyor ki ben yazmadım da ben yazmadım diyor. Ben yazdım diyecek hali yok. Yani ben yazdım diyecek hali olmalı ama işte. Çok rahatsız edici. Ve dediğim gibi telefonla kanıt sunmak, ortada bir ses kaydı yoksa, benim çok inandığım bir kanıt değil mesajlaşma. Yani bunu ilk şeyde de görmüştük. Ama o zaman yazmadım dedim mi ya? İlk bu işte onu öldürmek istiyorum, onu şöyle yapıp çöpe atmak istiyorum falan filan bir şeyler yazmıştı ya, öyle mesajları vardı. Onu yazdım dedi mesela. O mesajları kabul etti. Bunu kabul etmemiş ama. Orada da korkunç şeyler yazıyordu bu arada. O mesela orada da şey diyebilirdi. Hayır bunu ben yazmadım diyebilirdi. Ya aslında burada lafı şeye getirmiş hani. Onu işte şöyle yapacağım, böyle yapacağıma getirmiş mesela lafı. Orada birini kesmekten, öldürmekten, yok etmekten falan bahsediyordu yani. Lilo TV'den izledik zaten. Ha bana da şöyle geliyor işte o yüzden Erinye. Yani onu yazıp daha büyük bir suç şeyi taşıyanı yazıp kabul etmek. Ha evet bunu ben yazdım demek. Yani burada söylediği şey o söylediğinin yanında çok daha hafif. Hayır bunu ben yazmadım. Bu telefonumu ele geçirmiş olabilirler diyor mesela bunun için. Devam ediyorum şunları okumaya ben.